What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Novakast back with another video, and I gotta thank Magi for bringing up these two articles to me, especially with when it comes to talking about stuff involving the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. So without further delay, why don't we go ahead and get started with the articles. The first article in of itself is from Screen Rants and is titled PS5 versus PlayStation 5 Digital, What Are the Differences? It then further reads, PS5 Digital Edition looks a lot like the normal PS5, but it has several important differences that make it distinct from the standard console. This article is by Alexandre Sacalario, if I pronounced that correctly. Let me know if I didn't. I'm sorry. The article continues with, during their next-gen reveal event earlier this week, Sony revealed the new PlayStation 5 Digital Edition, which has several important differences that make it distinct from the standard PS5 console. The company made a series of huge announcements at its Future of Gaming showcase, including showing off both versions of the PS5 console and its accessories, as well as a slew of next-generation video games. Many gamers were already anticipating Sony would reveal details about the PS5's mechanisms and hardware, along with some titles which will be available to play on next-gen console. One surprise that many didn't see coming, however, was the reveal of the PS5 Digital Edition, which has only helped to amp up excitement for the release of the PS5 by this year's holiday season. Now, I'm kind of curious about what changes they have for the Digital Edition, besides, the obvious fact that with the Digital Edition, you're only playing digital content, whereas the disc drive version, you can use digital as well as, disc games. Unless there's something that I don't know about when it comes to the disc version. So let's go ahead and continue reading with this story. The article continues with everything we know about PS5. Granted, not all of the details about the Digital Edition have been made public, as Sony plans to hold several reveal events over the course of the summer. But what is known about the differences between the two PS5s is proof that the Digital Edition will provide players with the very specific gameplay experience, one which does not require the use of game discs at all. And you have the image of the two PS5s with what's so special about the PS5 Digital Edition. The article continues with PS5 Digital Edition is a special version of the standard PS5, and the main difference between the two is that the former has no disc drive. Both the PlayStation 4 and the PS3 featured a drive that allowed gamers to play DVDs, Blu-rays, in addition to physical copies of their favorite video game titles. While players will still have this in the standard PS5, as it includes a 4K UHD Blu-ray disc drive, this feature will not be offered in its Digital Edition counterpart. So what would be the point of the Digital Edition then? Rather, gamers will only be able to play titles that they download directly from the PlayStation Store. Getting rid of the disc drive allowed Sony to give the PS5 Digital Edition a cleaner look than the standard PS5 design. It is much more symmetrical, since the disc drive isn't taking up valuable space on the left-hand side of the console. Not only does this offer a sleek aesthetic, but it may also make the PS5 Digital Edition easier to transport, as it will be less clunky. Now, I will say I was kind of curious of whether or not I should just get basically the PS5 Digital Edition or the disc drive version. Now, I have a feeling down the road I may end up just getting, like, let's say if I get the PS5, I may end up getting the disc, or not the disc version, I'm sorry, the digital edition, because I have a feeling all of my games will either be digital versions, or if anything, if I'm still buying them from GameStop, which is the store that I still purchase my games from, I may just get the disc drive version. However, I do feel that with them removing, like creating a separate version specifically for just digital content, I feel that this may be an attempt to try to kill the used market. So if anything, like let's say people are still trading in their games, you'll have less and less people that are actually buying used games and just, you know, getting digital versions. Though I'm kind of curious of how the sales will be when both versions are released. Going forward with the article, it says, of course, the most important difference between the two models is the price. Consumers can expect the PS5 digital edition to be cheaper than the standard model, as the digital edition requires less hardware to go into its production since it forgoes the disk drive. And with less valuable material being utilized, it means Sony will be able to lower its market price in comparison to the standard PS5. As for now, however, Sony has not released the official price for the PS5. Previously, the company would reveal the price in its next-gen console in the spring of this release year. But there are several reasons as to why Sony is reportedly waiting this time around. Some reports suggest the company is waiting for Microsoft to reveal more details about its next-gen console, the Xbox Series X, which is the PS5's biggest competition. And there is also speculation that the COVID-19 pandemic has created manufacturing issues, which may force Sony to up the market price. As of now, estimating price of the PS5 anywhere between $400 to $500. Gamers can expect the PS5 digital edition to be sold for slightly less. Now, I have a feeling another reason why is over when a new console is released, there's always that that chance that some of the consoles may be buggy and may have a serious bug that could kill the console just entirely. Like what happened with the Red Ring of Death when it came to the Xbox, 360, as well as earlier consoles. So, who knows? That could be a reason. It could be because of the whole pandemic. Now, and it's funny that they bring up the Series X price, or what Microsoft is going to do about their price, because we're going to be talking about that in the next article. But other than that, I honestly don't know. I mean, it'd be interesting. When it comes down to what console to buy. Would you rather have a disc drive, or would you rather have just digital content? Me personally, just because I still want to promote the used market, I want to get the one with the disc drive. Because there are times where I just, I want something that's tangible. Sure, it makes it easier to have digital content, but at the same time, it's also nice to have something that's a physical copy of the game. And that way, I can keep that for as long as I want. Maybe down the line, get a digital version, and plus, periodically games that are digital end up getting released through the PlayStation Plus on a monthly basis, depending how lucky you are. So, down the line, I could get some of those games that I wanted as digital copies as well. So, who knows? Alright, so let's talk about the Xbox Series X. This article was from BGR, and the title of the article is Leaker says Xbox Series S will be so cheap, and I think they mean X, but whatever. But I'm actually kind of curious if they're making, like, the Xbox Series is going to be a digital version and a disk drive version. Anyways, the title says, leaker says Xbox Series S will be so cheap PS5 can't possibly match up. The article was written by a Chris Smith, and it continues with the price of the Xbox Series X. They typed did a typo, okay. Will be lower than PS5. An insider said while revealing that Microsoft will soon introduce a Series S version of the console. Okay, there you go. That will be even cheaper. Xbox Series S will be introduced in July, and it will cost just $200 according to the leaker. Microsoft is supposedly planning a night to mic drops in July, and the Series S will become a key to its strategy of becoming the Netflix of gaming. Okay. Microsoft caught gamers off guard with the unexpected Xbox Series X design reveal in mid-December, and Sony took 6 months to unveil the PS5. The two gaming giants clearly have very different marketing plans, but we're only a few months away from the PS5 and Xbox Series X release dates. Both consoles will be launched this year, no matter what happens with COVID health crisis. Sony and Microsoft's next console marketing fight will be about pricing, which is probably the most important thing for buyers right now, especially considering the economic fallout of the novel coronavirus pandemic. Recent reports say that Microsoft is looking to undercut Sony's PS5 price, but then the Japanese conglomerate surprised fans with the news that 2 PS5 versions will be available in stores in the future. The digital edition will be a diskless version of the PS5, and it will be more affordable as a result. Even so, Microsoft is supposedly readying an offer that Sony might not be able to beat. A cheap version of the Xbox Series X that would cost half of what Microsoft will ask for the flagship console. The news comes from the insider who goes by the name of Eastman, per Dutch blog Techtastic. The Beyond 3D user has shared reliable information about Microsoft's plans in the past. According to Eastman, the Series S will be significantly smaller than the Series X, and it will have no Blu-ray drive. The console will be better than the Xbox One X when it comes to performance and will support the same set of features as the Series X. I heard it's half the price of Xbox Series X, and Microsoft would target a $399 price for the Xbox Series X. I'm not sure what the final price will be. I think if Sony goes for $500, $600, Microsoft will opt for $200 for the Series S and $4 to $5 for the Series X, but we'll see. The leaker said Microsoft will make up any losses they take by getting a higher cut of game sales and more subscriptions. Pricing also depends on what Sony does. Microsoft doesn't have to go as extreme in prices as Sony's prices itself higher. But from what I've heard from all of my sources, July isn't about Sony. July is about the industry. They want it to be a night of mic drops, he said. They're going to come hard with the strategy they have been building up to for years, and they want Google, Amazon, Apple, Sony, and yes, Nintendo to shaken up. So expected a series of mic drop moments, followed by prices being the key part of this. He continued, I don't know all that they will show in July, but I've been told that they are ramping up so that their Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One releases combined pale in comparison to what they have for generations to come. The insider said that Microsoft aims to become the Netflix of game streaming, and the cheap Series S could offer the company a path into the homes of many buyers. I was told that the goal is to have an Xbox studio game out every other month by the time the ball really gets rolling. Not A or AA games, but AAA games every other month so that people don't stop subscribing, he said. Also, Microsoft is supposedly buying 5 additional studios and is in negotiations with Warner Brothers for some content. That's usually worrisome when they involve movie studios. At least that's my opinion. The article continues with, "That's why I think Lockhart is a key device in their strategy," he said. "It's a low-cost gateway that they can control to make sure the hardware can handle their new compression techniques they will employ with xCloud over the next few years. The plan for Lockhart is to get into prices categories they were never able to hit before, and I believe, based on listening between the lines, that they expect Lockhart to, at some point, make it down to Fire TV size. Also, the size of the first Lockhart will surprise everyone." Needless to say, none of this information can be confirmed at this time, but Eastman's claim do line up with some of Microsoft's recent remarks and actions. The company said the earlier Series X design reveal was supposed to shock fans and said it will continue to surprise buyers. Xbox chief Phil Spencer said recently that 2020 won't necessarily be about selling new consoles, acknowledging the effects of the coronavirus on the economy. He said that Microsoft is focusing on an overall user experience regardless of the person upgrades to the new Xbox or not. Previously, the exec remarked that Sony might not be the biggest threat to Microsoft's Xbox plans. It's companies like Amazon and Google that are capable of delivering cloud-based gaming experiences that can rival the Xbox. With all that in mind, there's no denying that a 200 all-digital Xbox that can deliver the best of both worlds would be the hard pass up. And it's unlikely the PS5's digital edition could ever match it. Man, I gotta say, in regards to the prices, I would say, yeah, it would be difficult if, let's say the PS5 or Sony ends up going, let's say, 400 to 500 for the digital edition, and then maybe 500 to 600 for the disk drive version. I could totally see them having trouble selling more consoles than Xbox if the consoles' prices are a little bit lower than that of the PlayStation. Though, as it says in the article, it seems like they're going to make up with it with subscriptions and games and so on. So who knows what the future holds with the consoles itself. But I think, and I know people are going to think I'm crazy for doing this, I think either way I'm probably going to end up, this is just my personal opinion, you guys can do whatever you want with the information given, and I'll try to leave links in the description for both the articles so you guys can read them yourselves. Me personally, I think I still like to have a physical copy of my games. Sometimes I'll buy digitally, but overall I like having a physical copy. Down the road I may consider getting just a digital versions of the Xbox Series X or Series S and the PS5 digital edition. Who knows? But until then, I'll have to think on it. Hello everyone, thank you for stopping by to check out this video. If you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, as well as follow us on social media. Links are in the description. Check out gaming content from MJ, Aden, and Magi, as well as our daily content on the YouTube channel. Follow us on our podcast, which is 6 p.m. Pacific time on Sundays. From everybody of Novakast, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next video.